Good morning, everyone. It is October 9th. I guess it's a Wednesday. Hump day. Here we go. Okay, today I'm going to be playing around with some multiplayer settings, and we're going to be seeing, we're going to have some fun with it and see what we can do. You guys are going to kind of help me decide what we should do and then work it from there. So, let's jump right in and have some fun. Okay, Eeyore. Okay, so let's see. Jake, do I have you? Okay, I'm going to put a link on the page here. Let's see if we can get both of us on there to begin with. That's a good start. That's the link for a scene that has one slab of cement and one box. That's about as low key as we can get. Okay, and do. Yeah, just click the link. Good morning. Okay. There's somebody behind me. Okay, cool. So you got the default I'm not logged in, or yours is called logged in. How funny. Okay, that's something to fix. You called him login? Oh, that's funny. Oh, okay. Huh. Okay, that's kind of stuff that we'll be working on, but I want to work on something else first, just for the fun of it.
You're stuck.
Yeah?
Or is it because I'm trying to load that page?
I don't know, could be. The page is pretty small, but okay, let's see here.
Yeah, so Ed joined wants me to go back and do what you said, the steps, withdraw it out.
Okay.
Just got that email. I probably should take care of that instead of taking it off.
Okay. Oh, really?
Okay, you see another person in there? Oh, doing so?
I could have reloaded the whole system since last time. This is this instance. You may not even have a user in here yet.
Who?
Yeah, you don't have a user in here yet. Just register real quick, Jake.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm on the page.
Yeah.
Do I have to log in?
You don't have to, but you can. You do have a login on that page. Oh, I probably created that for you.
I don't have to? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So you see a person on there?
Not yet. Oh, there it is. Yep, I see a person in there. Oh, is that Jake again? No, maybe I don't. It says login.
Just log in.
Okay. That's a mistake in what it should say. Go ahead and walk forward, Karen. Let's see if put the arrow keys forward or roll the.
Oh, I see a green person now. Oh, there's some black behind me. I'm green. Is that someone else?
Let me see what you're seeing. Yeah, see, I'm not seeing that person. There's something didn't load right. That's why you're getting this great big thing here.
So there was someone black behind me. Yes, I know. It's,
Okay.
there it is.
Oh, there it is. You're right.
Mhm.
Huh. But you're not seeing me in the scene either.
Mhm. Oh, is that login?
That's Jake. Yeah. Let's try refreshing the scene because you shouldn't have that guy back there anyway. So let's see if it reloads. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Really? Gosh. Okay, I'll have to run back through those pieces. For now, go anonymous. Let's see if... actually, it created the account here. Yeah, it does have the account. How funny. And now it worked. Okay, I'm going to go through... I'll go through those, things to make sure people can create accounts and log in and stuff. But just, for now, refresh the page because we're going to do something else here. I just want to... Yeah. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I found one of the bugs in the multiplayer thing last night that allows them to actually show up on the screen. So that was an improvement, obviously. But it's not perfect yet, obviously. Well, that create account thing kind of bothers me because I thought I went through all that stuff, but I've changed a lot of stuff around it, so I'll have to double check and make sure it does what I want from start to finish. You do it and it goes right where you're supposed to and logs on your user or changes your avatar or whatever it needs to do. And just little tweaks here and there. Okay. Well, I was thinking about what I want to check out and start messing around with is when we first come into a scene. So when the avatar appears, I was thinking about making different types of transitions of how you appear into the scene. So kind of wanted to get your feedback and get some ideas of what we could make it do. The first thing is, should it be something about the scene that you're in, so it's attached to like the community, or should it be a setting per avatar? Like I can tell how my avatar comes in and appears. Okay, because then each person can say, hey, this is how I'm going to appear and use a different transaction. Okay, that's getting really annoying quick. Sounds off. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We don't want to start with sparkles if you're in unicorn land. Yeah, I'm just repeating it for the video part. Stuff that you're saying. But yeah, so we're okay, so if we do it per avatar, then we should be able to select, maybe in our avatar profile, you know how we can edit our avatar right now, and we have those different 1, 2, 3, 4 things we can do, change our avatar, and we got display name, colors, and animations. Maybe we should add another item there that has to do with the transitions. I don't know what to call it yet, but we'll worry about that part afterwards. Yeah. And enter exit animation. You don't? Oh, that's funny. Is mine on? And we're in the same scene. Let's see. I was doing this last night, and it was working then. Did I break something? Just saying. Right. Let me see. I know, because we're both in this scene, and I'm not seeing you, and you're not.
See me in the scene?
No, I don't see anybody in the scene except me. Huh. Okay. Yeah, something's going on with that. Let me see what's going on in our. Let's check a couple pieces here. First one, I want to see if I was trying to fix some things, and of course, fixing usually has both effects on it. Okay, so we have. Did you choose Malcolm? No, that's me. No, that's one I did. Lakers. Oh, I know which dude. Okay, well then it did not log you into the multiplayer system. I don't see your avatar showing up here. Let's troubleshoot that. Let me find out what's going on. Have you refreshed your page since you've done it? Probably, but yeah, go ahead and refresh the page. I want to see if you show up in here, because maybe it's a problem of how it starts or whatever. But that's something that I'll have to work on. But I kind of just want to see if we start in the scene, what happens here. Okay, let's see. I don't see you added here. That's funny. Okay, do I see you? No, I don't see you. And you came... No, I don't see anything on my screen. Okay, let me refresh my page. I don't know why it's making me do this, but what I'm not seeing is the one thing I had yesterday working really smooth that I probably broke. No. Oh, now I see you. Ah, yep, I see your Laker colors there. Okay. Okay. And I'm behind you. But let's see. Doing the Gangnam style. Okay. And I don't see Karen. Okay, so that got both of them in here. Let me check the... Oh, you don't? Okay. You know... Oh, you don't see me already? That's interesting. Okay, well, we've got some hit or miss on who we can see in a scene. There's an issue going on with that, so let's troubleshoot it and see if we can't fix that part first. What I first want to double check is, do I have enters mail and... Okay, so... That one came up with a blank... Oh, blank user ID, of course. Wait a minute. Actually, that one is you. You're logged in. I've got your name there. Yeah, because you're logged in, I actually get your name on this item here. Okay, so user avatar is P2. Let's see, avatar P2. Those are your settings for your colors. I'm seeing that stuff here. Let's see, tracking. I'm getting 2 in tracking. For some reason Karen's didn't write here. Okay, we're gonna have to figure out what's going on with that. Let me see. None of them are marked as deleted. That's a good sign. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Let me double check a setting. Oh, no,
Okay,
you know, we can come back. No. I don't want to slow down your computer while you're doing that. It's fine.
Oh.
It's okay. It might slow down your computer if I change a setting. So don't.
Should I just take that stuff off for now then?
Yeah, go ahead and just close it out for now. It's okay. I'll come back and I've got some things to fix and then we can test it again.
Okay.
So. Okay, so we're playing around and seeing if we can't get some other users in here and see what happens with them. Let me turn this other computer going here. I got a second computer, so I'm going to jump that one in the scene too, just to see if we can't do something. If you're just joining us and want to work, we're working on the multiplayer and seeing if we can't get it working. Kind of fine-tuning it, seeing what we do, but that's the scene that we're actually in. And if you jump in that scene, then you should be able to select an avatar and then be in the scene. We'll start with that and see where we go from there. Okay, so this one, I'm just seeing if... Oh, it's funny, it's not showing everybody. I can see... When I add another person in the scene, I'm not seeing it into my existing scene, but I can see that. I can see the other character doing its dance over there and playing its animation, and I can see it on my other screen, but I can't see it down on that particular. I can't see the other player that just came in, which would have been in this corner over here. Okay, so let's do a little tracking here. Let's see. First of all. Okay, there's 3 people in this scene right here. Wait a minute. Instance as 2 of them being the same. That's a problem. Okay. That would explain why I'm only seeing mine on each thing. Okay, I had tried to fix something this morning, and when I did, I think I broke it. So let me undo what I did this morning first, and then see how we can do it in other ways. What I was trying to do was I was trying to see if the user avatar wasn't there. I tried to add some code to look it up by IP address, but I think the problem is because we're coming in the same household here, the different computers didn't treat the same IP address. They're on the internet, it's treating it as the same IP address, but it's different computers internally, which is causing us different issues. So I think for now, until I decipher a little different about that, I need to do this, which now should fix the problem on these scenes, because what will happen is now it's going to force it to treat them as different computers by their instance number, and there's that one. And now if I refresh the other scene here and make sure this one gets on its own. Okay, I forgot that. Yeah, coming from the same IP address would be, yeah, it's more popular than I thought. I just didn't remember. Okay, so we have that character there. You switched up your dance. You're so funny. And this particular one, okay, I think what happened was now my issue is because I did that, the other one has a cookie that is telling it that's the same as mine. So let me clear the cookie on that one. We're getting there.
Okay,
Got a clear cookie on this one page. I don't want to clear all my cookies, I just want to clear this particular one. Whoa, that did not like that. Ah, geez, here we go again. Been there, done that. Store pages. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Okay, fine. Let's see. 3D, HTTP 3D net. There it is. And delete. Instead of deleting, it's closing my whole browser. Welcome to Microsoft Updates. I'm not bashing. I'm just stating fact. It did an update in the background, so it's going to force me to reboot my computer before I can do anything else. Okay, so that machine will be back in a few minutes. I noticed that it was prompting me for some updates, and anytime I don't do them, I'm looking at the possibility that it's going to be an issue. So, no? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I see those two. And, okay, what's the third one? Just out of curiosity. Okay, click on the right, click on F12 and open up the side panel. Does it give you an error? Oh, by the way, if people are joining us now, if you want to be able to talk and hear both sides of the conversation, click on the Discord link down below and you can jump on the channel where I can hear you speak also. You're welcome to join us in there. We're doing a little bit of troubleshooting on some multiplayer stuff, so it's kind of helpful to be able to talk back and forth and just open up the channel. So just want to make sure you know you can jump on the Discord link and be able to talk with us also. Okay, and let's see. Okay, can you see me wave? Oh, you don't. It disappeared. Whoa, that's interesting. Okay. I'm going to refresh mine just so that he comes back in. I want to make sure that they're loading everything that they're supposed to when they're supposed to, and so let me back up this way. Okay, now I'm seeing, I'm seeing another one of me off to my left. How funny. Yeah, that's one without picking up the colors. That's really interesting. Jeez. Okay, if I... Yeah. And can you see me wave? Okay, and here's an over there, over here. Okay, and this is a little tiny head nod. Okay, and then I got a Gangman style. Party. There we go. Party, party. Okay. I don't know who the other one in here is because it would have been me or something. I don't know. It could have disappeared from the other me. Oh, he disappeared. Okay, I'm just logging in on that machine again. Oh, right, because that one would have had the same wrong person also. Okay, okay. Because it grabbed it by IP address.
I didn't register.
Yeah. Okay, that was, yeah.
I confirmed the email, but didn't go through.
Okay, okay, so something's going on with that. Okay, get this other machine up here. Yeah. Ah, I gotcha. Yeah. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, some type of feedback on if they're. Oh man, this other machine is not letting me delete a cookie. I hate when that happens. It happened the other day, and now it's not letting me update the cookie. Hang on. I'm going to do it another way. We're going to tell it. I'm going to do this just to do it. Okay, don't refresh yours. But I'm going to put this sentence right here, right there for a moment. And I'm going to refresh this other instance. And Karen, if you could refresh your page that's viewing the site, that should give you a different cookie. Well, that should assign a different cookie. Why didn't it? I know, bouncing around. We're testing out some multiplayer stuff, and so jumping from different scenes. Okay, so now it's treating it as a different person, and it dropped my avatar. Now I have to pick a new one, pick some colors. Let's just give it some type of color here so I know it's a different one. And close avatar settings. So this avatar, let's see, did he just pop into the scene? No, it didn't, according to this. Well, that is so funny. It's not picking up the new people. Let me see if the database is finding them. Okay. Here we have, I can see your animation you're running. Jake. Yeah. Okay, and we all have different instances now, so that part's straightened out. Oh, I want to take that line out of the code now. That was just a fix an attempt I was trying to do. We don't need that line there anymore. We've rewritten new cookies, which get them onto different characters. That fixed that. Now that I've done that, let me make sure it knows in my scene that I'm not loading the same avatar over and over again or the same instance, and because it'll ignore my own instance number or lettering, so that's usually what that has to do with. Okay, I see Jake, and I'm not seeing others here. Okay, let me refresh this other scene. See what I think we're dealing with. Oh, see, it wants to select avatar again. Okay, so it didn't. I don't think it saved the new avatar for when I fixed that. You know what? I need to identify the instance ID that we're running with currently in our scene so we can kind of get some feel of who is who. So I'm going to do. Oh, okay. And I'm going to grab this instance ID, which is going to be the one we're actually using at this point in time. If that's coming up blank, which now it is, and we either have a cookie and we use it, or it assigns one here and it assigns it there. So if I do this equals, I want to find out which instance ID everybody is just so I can track and see what's going on in the back end. Okay, so refresh the scene. Okay, my instance is the AS8Z. Oh, okay, it's not the one I thought it was. There's an anonymous over there. Anonymous female. Oh, must be. Are you red? Mm-hmm. Okay. And let me refresh this computer. Let's see, does it find a character for this one or no? If you hit F12, it'll tell me which ID it is. I'm trying to pick a color here that makes sure we know which one's which. Okay, so this one just jumped in the scene, and it should be a bright yellow. Hello. I don't see it in my scene. That one is to SCH. To school. Okay, let's see what happened to school here. Okay, so if I refresh this, it did not write it to here. If it doesn't write it to here, then they don't exist in the scene because it won't know how to pull their information. So this particular one, AS8, that's me. Hey Jake, what's the first couple letters of your ID? Actually, I can tell you. WH0. It should be in the column. It should be in, if you do an F12, you get the column. Okay, if you're just joining us, just want to let you know we are on Discord and we are talking about it and working on some multiplayer stuff, coordinating, testing some different things, and seeing if we can't figure out getting everybody in the scene and making sure everybody exists and, you know, all the goodies, make sure it's loading properly. And so I'm in the process of working on that and doing some troubleshooting. So if you're just catching up with us and just watching in, you're welcome to join us on the Discord link down below. Also, this scene right here is where we are, and if you want to jump in there, you're welcome to join us, and it'll automatically show you in this scene also. Okay, well, that's when it's working. It will show you in this scene. That's the whole point. We're working on that right now and double checking some things, and I'm kind of troubleshooting a couple items to make sure that everybody shows up in the scene like they're supposed to. Right now they are not, which means when I have a new person and they refresh into the scene, whoops, I'm refreshing the wrong scene. And I'm kind of bouncing back and forth to see what's going on here. See, that one's not saving. I don't think the user's saving because I've saved the person and the... Oh, they're seeing everybody else, though. If I turn that direction, do I see them? No, because something's wrong with the way they are in the database. Okay, okay, so they have the same ID, so I didn't lose their ID. But what's happening... Oh, see, it's right there. They should be in the scene. After colors, instance, it did not write their colors in here. I tried to do part of it, but it didn't do the whole thing. Okay, there's a couple pieces here that are hit or miss. I need to see what's going on with that, but right now, according to this, they should be in the scene. And I'm seeing other people in their scene, but I'm not seeing them. So I'm going to turn off multiplayer, everybody disappears. When I turn it back on, it should trigger everybody to reload. And no, it didn't. That's kind of interesting in itself. Okay, I'm bouncing between two different machines. We're on Discord talking, and we've got all this stuff going on. So, interesting way to approach this. Do I have other people in the scene down here now? Yes, I have 3 other people in that scene. But see, I don't see the person who just came in. There's something going on. Okay, let's track this. Here, I see the user there. I see 4 people in this building scene, which means that should be there. It's anonymous, but I should see them in the scene because it's here. Let me check the, what I want to see is, oh, let's go to, okay, we're not ready for that today. Gonna go to this part down here, multiplayer, and I want to see the tracking part. Get avatar, clear avatar. I want to see what's actually happening here. I want to see when I drop the other person in the scene if I'm getting their, well, there's a couple pieces I can check. One of them is, right now I see these three people, and you know what, if I go to admin mode in this same scene, then I'll see everybody, but I get some extra tools. So buildings, select building, that one, and I should load up, and 1, 2, 3, there's 1, 2, and third person is not showing up. Okay, but they are in the scene kind of off that direction, about that way, not far from the scene, so they should be there. Let's check some stuff. Developer tools, list loaded objects, and list current meshes. Now I have person, there's the WHO or 0. We have the UZ one, that's UZS7, and we do not have another character. We have my avatar, obviously. So it did not load it from here, which means I need to check the next part, which is this tracking, multiplayer tracking, and I want to see if this is bringing back everybody that it should. I will do it this way. I need to get an idea of what this is calling. And we'll do SURL. And if I bring back this page here, F5, I just need to load that new script for me. And I should get the script as soon as it turns on the tracking, which is right about now. There we go. And it's the same script over and over again, so it should just repeat there, which I was hoping for. Put this here, and I get, I don't want to translate the page. Track ID, that's 2 people. It's not showing 3 people, which means the SQL that is running this tracking ID did not pull the full number of characters that I expected. Let's go to this function. That updates my tracking. Then down here, it is actually pulling the tracking information for everybody. Let's copy that over to SQL. Here we go. Down the path, we're troubleshooting this. We're gonna, let me put it here. I don't need this other stuff already there. First thing is, I'm gonna do it from the center of the room because there's no reason for me to worry about where my position is right now. So we're going to do it from the center of the room. Everybody's there. This is just a distance formula. A squared plus B, or no, it's x squared plus y squared plus z squared, square root of all that is equal to your distance. Anybody recognize that? His wife did all of the math when he was in school. No wonder you didn't become a coder. Okay, we'll set that number to 20 users. I'm showing my instance ID is this one. Okay, yeah, no worries. That won't change anything on what I'm doing here. And I need our building ID, which would be in our tracking, which right here. See, when I look in this table and I see, oh, now there's only 2 people in here, so I think we got too stagnant for too long, so let me refresh my player here in just a second. Let me first check, because it's either oscillating that things are disappearing from there and I need them to stay in there longer or something of that nature. See, I'm showing 2 people, but we only show 2 in the scene at the moment. That's fine. Let's add a 3rd person by making sure I'm active. Okay. Okay, I'm just kind of moving over so that I'm not in the default landing spot. And then here we should see I'm getting 2 people. And I should see there's 3. I'm getting 2. That is actually correct at the moment. And I'm still seeing 3. I just want to make sure. So we are seeing 3. And when I look at the scene, I'm only seeing 2. It's not drawing the other person, which is a different issue. I just wanted to check and see that I'm actually getting the people in here, because if I'm seeing both of them in here and then they're not drawing, that's a different place in the code. So I need to make sure that that they activated on my screen. Let me just reload that one just to do it. Okay, moving forward a little bit just to not be on the home spot. And this one I see Jake's and my character, so that one's seeing everybody, but for some reason I'm not seeing everybody. You're not. Are you seeing 3 including yourself? Okay, so when the 3rd person came in, neither one of us picked up on that. Yet I'm seeing here that it did pick up. Has a tracking ID WH0, that's you. This one is the other character that I should be seeing that I'm not. Okay, so that's telling us that piece of it. Next, I need to go down the next step of the code. First of all, we don't need to keep seeing that URL. We know what it is now. Okay, so once it gets that, it goes to render the tracking people, and we should see, this is where I was spending a lot of my time yesterday. The next part is I want to know there's 2 pieces right here that I need to know. If I do it in one line, then it won't spin down the page and keep on reporting it. It'll just instance the one that we're seeing. So I'm going to say T equals, I'm going to get the track defs. This is how many we're returning from the unit. And then I'm going to say plus, and this one is going to be avatars. And that one's going to be this right here length. That'll tell me how many avatars I'm actually trying to track at the moment. See, we have something that's not turning it on. So what it thinks is, I think what's happening is the machine thinks that we're, or the code thinks that they're already loaded, so it's not reloading that particular instance because for whatever reason it tried or didn't or something made it disappear, and once it did, it goes, nah, you're good. Okay, so even in my code right now, it's saying I'm tracking 2 people, which should be both of you, and I've already loaded 2 in the instance. Okay, so then if that's the case, what's happening is it has this section here where it says basically when it first tries to load them, it says, oh, loaded equals 0, and it goes through and does some things. Then it goes through and says, oh, loaded equals 2 when it's completed. Loaded 0 means it needs to try to load it, or actually loaded 1. Okay, it starts when it first puts them in there, it dumps them in as loaded 0, which means we found a new character. Then it takes the basis of it and identifies it by an instance and adds it to that array. So that gives it a loaded equals 1, which means the first stage of loading is already done. We have it in the array and we know which one it is. Then the final stage is that tracks and actually loads the avatar into the scene, which then makes it a 2 from then on, and we start tracking the position of changes of where they are and where they update. Now, along the way, it has to do this little piece, which is removing people out if they don't exist anymore, and if they're not being tracked anymore, which means they didn't come up in that tracking bit, then I need to drop them also, which means they dropped out of the scene. So I have some things going on there that do that. There's only a couple places where it can delete somebody. And the first thing is I want to see sometimes it oscillates and actually deletes them and re-adds them very quickly. And so the first thing I'm going to do is knock out pulling them out using those two methods right there. And let's see if I refresh the scene for me. Let's see if that helps at all. The other part is they won't appear if they actually start on the exact same starting point as you. They don't appear until you actually move. So that's why I keep on moving from that starting point when I open a scene. I don't want to, people landing on top of each other when they first come into a scene. Now, in my scene, I could see two people land there and it's no big deal. When one of them's me, I want them to be able to have a clear picture of themselves. So until they're at least 1 unit away from the beginning, the other one doesn't appear until you move. And I've tested that part, and it actually worked. So I know that piece is good. Okay, so now I'm still tracking 2, and I have an array of 2. Let me refresh this other one. I know. I should be seeing this person come into the scene and then walk. This person who enters after us can see both of us, no problem. Yeah, see, there's something going on there because we're seeing the piece with everybody. I mean, we're seeing the array with everybody, but we're not seeing the items in the array, and we're not disposing them, so it's not like they're coming in and disappearing. Well, let's take that a step farther. Find next. This one, wait a minute. Get multi-user array. Thought I fixed this one. Oh, it's only for your own instance that it doesn't clear. Yeah. Right. Correct. Our instance isn't updating, but his coming in after us reads everybody and does just fine. So I have this feeling that this dispose mold thing is actually interfering with us getting that person. So I want to double check here because they're on a different instance ID now because I'm tracking them in the database and the tracking information is pulling back 2 different people without a problem. So let's see. Okay, so I'm not seeing them load. We need to track a couple different places here to make sure that it's doing everything that I think it's doing. There's one more place if I clear somebody who leaves the scene. For now, I'm going to make it where we can't clear somebody unless we refresh the page. That'll kind of eliminate that as a variable at the moment. And that should be, yes, that should take out the places where that's actually happening. Okay, and the other thing I want to track now is I want to see okay, so we know both of them are loading because we have 2 in there the second we actually load the scene. Let me get rid of those items. Let me refresh my scene and just make sure. Because see, my scene should be picking up everybody in there, and the reason I say that is because I do have 2 in the array. So if 2 people are in the array that I'm loading, why is it not displaying the second person? It's only showing me the first. But they're both coming into the array, which means it found the person and added them. let's see, at this level, I want to just, right here, we'll double check a couple things, but this, the fact, if neither of you were showing up, that points at one thing where I just go, oh, obviously here's the problem. When one of you are showing up and the other one isn't, it gets a little trickier because it's basically telling me that it's different instance ID. It's not the same user ID. Instance is where it's all geared around because the instance is either there or it isn't, and then it runs it based on the instance. Now you can have an instance as anonymous and you can have an instance as with a user ID, but the system, the way I coded it, shouldn't be picking up both of those. It shouldn't be picking up both instances. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spit out the instance ID right here that it's grabbing, and I want to see just that it's doing that one step for each of them. So let's see. Should be happening right when the multiplayer kicks in. I give it a moment for your own to kick in so that you can start moving around, and then I turn on the multiplayer. So there's a little delay in the two happening. But see, even here, it thinks both of them are loaded. They're both popping up to that level, but the difference is it's not grabbing them there. But tracking wise, I'm bringing back 2 records, which means it is tracking the other person in the scene. But it didn't get a chance to draw it. So get multi-user avatar. This is the function that takes that and goes and gets the multi-user avatar. So let's check. Let's get these 2. I know it's only gonna pull each one of these once, so I can. We should have a different URL for both of them, and let's see what it's bringing back. Because if it has a mistake in this piece here, if it doesn't bring back something, then it doesn't get a chance to build that something and add it to the scene. Well, we're just walking through the code, walking it through and troubleshooting as we go. Okay, so if I come in here, there's my animations, and I'm walking forward. Now if I rotate around, it called 2 different systems. Now the first one was this. This is what we're expecting, because this particular one is yours. And we get it, and notice that there's your different animations are in here, and your different colors are in here. So that is complete. That's what we're expecting to get. Now the second one, to compare it to, if I take that one here and bring it back, there's our problem. Okay, that's why the second one didn't load. Let's look at that page. Get avatar is crashing, so let's walk through the code with that one and see why this particular one, it didn't like that instance or the user ID. Well, your user ID is blank, so, or is it? No, it isn't. You're logged in. That's a hint of what's going on here. Because, well, something in the get user, in this get multiple right here, something in there may not be allowing the anonymous to come through at the moment. It's a mistake. So yours is good that it came through because it was showing us that something's working. But I think somewhere in this code, we're getting the instance ID and we're getting the user ID. So the first thing we do is we check to see anonymous user. That comes through. And I want to see what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel out this at the moment. So we're not expecting back JSON. I just want to trip that so it doesn't do it. And right at this point, before we do the final call, I want to see what avatar ID it found and see if I can't do something based on that. So echo this equals that. I always put a line break at the end of it, because if I end up putting something else after it, they show up on different lines. I also want to see what instance ID it was trying to find in the first place. Here it is. Because maybe it's a problem with writing the instance there in the first place, which would happen before this step even takes place. Okay, so if I refresh this page now, I get no user avatar found. There's my problem, but I have an instance ID. Let's look in the table, and what I have is under user avatar, not that one, this multi-user avatars, it did not write here. There's the problem. Oh wait, to school, it's right there. That one should have found this ID. So something in that statement that's looking for this piece is what is broken. So that would be instance ID, user ID blank. It should be this statement right here. So let's do it directly in SQL and see what we're getting. I may still use that one. That's another good one too. What's this one? Oh, that's checking colors. Yeah, I'm fine with that one. Okay, we'll put this in here. We need to change the prefix on the table. And bless you. And then I'm going to grab the instance, but I want from our multi-user avatars, this is the instance I'm looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. Oh, you know it had to be in here sometime today, right? Yes, there we go. Okay, user avatar came up blank, but why? First of all, multi-user avatars, are any of these deleted? Yes, it's been deleted. Huh. It was deleted. It's been cleared. When a user does the update statement, which is this one, and I'm looking to see, first of all, anonymous user. Oh, I'm looking for deleted equals 0. And then when I find one, I update it. See, I'm setting it not to 0, but what I forgot to do was allow it to be a deleted instance that I'm reviving, because the update to that instance automatically gets updated. Well, that would explain a lot. So let me refresh the other scene first, that they're coming into the scene. Because they exited the scene, it deleted them from current activity, which is fine. But it leaves the record there on purpose, because I want to be able to see who is in my scenes and backtrack. You know, it's the webmaster in me that wants to know that information. So what happened was basically it marked it as deleted. So of course, since it's deleted, it's not picking it up when you try to load the user avatar, because they're already gone according to this. Now, oh, I broke the piece. Hang on. Let me check. That's what I was going to do. I was going to check this first. And we now have a user ID. Okay, so that should fix this piece. But now on this one here, I can't spit these out on the page. I have to remove those. And I have to turn it back on so that we're getting our response. Okay, I want to thank you for helping me troubleshoot that one, because guess what? Now we have a user. Now this has a user, and this one, don't translate the page. I don't know why it's saying translate. Okay, first let me refresh this other scene, because I want them to be there before me. And walk around a little, just so that it isn't on the starting point. Okay, and I see you in this scene with that person. And now I will refresh mine. And let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Let's see. I'm starting off in this scene. And I have confidence. There they both are. Yay! Okay, so basically I broke that part that was looking for the other user avatar, and because I broke that, I was not able to see the other person when they come into the scene. Now, what I should be able to do, this is going to test this piece out, is I'm going to I close the browser on that third character, and it takes 1 minute, because I have a 1 minute timeout whenever somebody stops tracking their own movement. So now, yeah. Oh, you don't? Okay, yeah, you can refresh, that's fine. Yeah, because that piece was broken, so you didn't see us. Yeah. And in my scene, I should see you. And as soon as you come back in, your character in my scene is going to pick up. Yep, now I see you moving around where you are. Okay, and the other one, when 1 minute expires, which should be very soon, he should all of a sudden disappear from our scene. I can make it shorter than 1 minute, but we'll play around with those numbers. I don't want it to be too soon, just in case they get a little lag in their own computer performance or their tracking device or something. I don't want them to disappear and then have to recreate, which would snowball their slow computer right out of being able to do anything. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, there's a reason it's not disappearing, and that was I came in here and told it to remove anything that was going to make anything disappear. Okay, so let's not do that anymore. Okay, let's fix that. Fine, next. This one is the clearing one, which should have knocked him out as soon as he decided to not be in the scene anymore. Actually, this clear multi-user is only used when you actually turn off your scene from being multi-user. It turns this off, which automatically clears everybody out of your scene. So that one is a different one than these others. And this one we want to use. This is when the tracking stops. It automatically picks it up and says, oh, go ahead and remove that user. And the same thing with this one. It's a catch-all. Okay, now everybody refresh. And let me open up this other scene. Let's see. Close tab. Okay. Oh, well. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. You know something? Ever since that last update last night, my phone's been doing weird things. I think Apple broke our phones. Alt Shift up down. Okay. You know something? I'm seeing that request. What? I'm not going to do it on a page. I don't know what that code does. Do Alt Shift up down. Well, I don't know why you'd have to do that. You can edit anything in here. Here. So, Alt Shift, Alt Shift and move up down. Yeah, you can select that way. Select various blocks. That's interesting. Haven't tried that one yet. Yeah, I did on that. I know there's a tag for that up here for removing comments. Where is it? It's one of these up here. I don't know. Oh, type on all 3 lines. Okay, I get you. Thanks. No, I appreciate the tips. I don't need that page. Okay, that's kind of cool. So right now what we're doing is we're sitting there in Discord and we're playing around with some of the multiplayer functionality, and we open this scene which gets us all in here. But if you use the Discord link down below, you can join in on the conversation if you want to join that. If not, you're welcome either way. Over here, we're just starting to get into this area and see what's going on and test out different functionality of this. We have keyboard commands for moving around. We also have mouse controls. If you use the scroll bar, you can move forward and backwards, but you can also do the hold the left mouse button down and you can move your mouse around and it'll look around your scene. I need to work on the speed controls for that, but we also, if you hold down Shift, you can move quickly with your keyboard. So if you are walking forward, it becomes run. If you walk backwards, it becomes run backwards, and turn fast. You know, so I tend to lean on Shift the whole time I'm moving. But as you can see, it's all there. That gets us through some of the basics of the commands. And what we're doing is we're actually just working on checking out some of the multiplayer stuff and getting it working. Okay, so now I'm going to take this one guy here, the extra anonymous one there in the scene, and I'm going to close the browser on that one on purpose. And now within 1 minute, that person should disappear off the scene. I gave it a 1 minute cushion right now, just in case there's a lag or some weird things going on, that it doesn't have to redraw on a slow computer or whatever. But basically what I could do is when it stops tracking, I could actually make it fade or something so that it looks like they're about to disappear before they actually disappear. We could play around with some of that stuff. The other part is I was thinking about doing some actual transitions in this, which we'll play around with. Well, it'll play around with some pieces here. But yeah, we can do some transitions like how they appear into the scene. So you can, like right now, if I refresh my player, well, first let me see that person disappear. It only takes 1 minute. No. Mr. Stark, I don't feel too good. That's kind of funny. Love it. You're one of us. You speak our language. No. There it is. Boom. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I like that. The faded idea. turn him to dust and make it just crumble to the ground. That'd be a cool transition. Okay, so Yeah, drop them into the ground where they just sink into the ground or pop back up out of the ground. So we have some different transitions we can do. I want to start playing around with these and just see what we can come up with. What happens is there's this one code. Let me first knock some of these symbols out of here. Now that we got that piece working, I'll leave it alone and won't break it again. That's a good start. A Terminator entrance, big sphere around you that just eats away at anything that's near you. Oh, jeez. God. Too funny. Okay, so what happens is in the code, let's see, it is in the, let me find it real quick, in the common, animation. I know that's not it. Mold animation. Okay, is it in this one? Wow, I actually didn't do too bad. That's in the right area. Run function, dispose mold, function name. Okay, check mold event. No. Actually, it's load animations. I'm in the wrong place. It was part of our avatars, load avatars scene. This particular thing has one function in here, which is right. That ain't it. When we load our avatars, I'm probably. I think it's right here. Yes. When this process happens right here, what happens is that is the end of the sequence when it loads all the animations for your avatar. So just to test that, we're just going to spit out here on the screen. And I'm just going to reload my guy. And I want to see, right when it thinks all the animations are loaded and it starts running them. Let's see, the first one right there. Okay, so that is the prompt of when an avatar is loaded. So let's see, do the other ones. Yours got loaded, but it didn't do it again. I expected it to load again. That's funny. I thought we were all going through the same process here to load. You should have hit that. Oh, I know why. Because that one's looking for my avatar. else would be you. You're an else. Okay, so we're just going to put the word now, and I just want to see that we're getting the transaction. See, if I can capture that moment, then what happens is we completely load the avatar, then we do the transition of how we're going to show them. So that would be the exact place that I need that to happen. Here would be mine, and now would be yours. Okay, so with that thought in mind, I should be able to actually... okay, I'll bring back my third person just because I can. Okay, that puts... We can add an animation, we could add a function, we can tell it what we want to do based on whatever, okay? I'm going to first build some different ideas into here. We'll test them out, and then I'll worry about where I'm going to store that, because I need to store it with your avatar so that you appear in a certain way when you do it. Hey, you disappeared. You closed your browser or refreshed it. It's okay. No worries. No worries. I'm not worried about it. When we're ready to test, I'll nudge you. Okay. So the next part. Hey, Eva. Whatever the position is, we start above it and then drop to the earth. That's not a bad idea. Oh yeah, the kneeling position. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's see. Also, let's see. What is the... Awesome. That would be perfect. Hey, and if you're not already, you can also join us on Discord. So we have a voice thing going on in there and talking and going back and forth. So if I appear that I'm listening, I'm hearing other people in my head. And in this time, it's somebody else. No. Yeah, right. Hey, Jake, where's the link for inviting other people here? Where do I have to go? Yeah, I know I got it on the page down below them, but I was going to put it in the chat. I don't know where I put it. I don't know where it is. Okay. There it is. Thanks. Okay, so that's to get into Discord with us, and you can also join in this scene just by clicking on the link for the building that we're at. I picked a building that doesn't take a lot to load. It's only got one box off to the side. That kind of gives us a little bit of, some distance here, some different things. We can do the dance. Oh, look at you go. I have to laugh because some of the animations, they're all supposed to be centered around... oh, okay, yeah. Eva, get the general... The general voice one is where we're talking, if you want to join us there. Okay, so, but some of the animations were actually, instead of being on the, instead of being based off the hip, so that the hip stays still and everything rotates around it, every once in a while they move the hip. Well, when they do, all of a sudden the feet fly off the ground and it kind of goes on weird angles. It's almost like they need an anchor that connects the hip so that the hip can rotate without messing up the other pieces. Hello and welcome. Oh no. That's not good. Hey Jake, this is Eva. Yeah, so we're jumping on here, playing around with some multiplayer settings, and now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up. Let's create I'm going to create a function. Oops. Jake, go ahead. Okay, we're going to call this avatar enter. Okay. We'll give it a character. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm creating a function and I want to call it avatar enter, and we're going to give it different values. I'm going to call it from here WTW there, and for now we're going to start with number 1 because we'll add more, and then I'm going to give you the option to actually be able to tell it which one to do. But for now I want to test it with just, actually I'll make it a string value just because it'll be coming from, where it's going to be coming from is going to come through as a string, and I don't want to have to test it to see if it's a number. Okay, switch. Yeah. Oh, you know something? You may have to create a new one because a little while back I actually dumped the thing and actually did a reinstall. So on this particular site that we're testing on right now, none of the users are already created there. So you'll have to create a new one to be able to come in. If you want to create a login. Yeah, oh, no worries. No worries, I did that. Every once in a while I dump this one. This is my test ground. So every once in a while I dump it and reload it from scratch just to make sure everybody's new install is working right and stuff. So there's no guarantees that this one will always be there. Okay. In our program, I don't have that on there yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. That'll be a social network functionality, so you can see what scene they're in and jump to them and everything else and help find them. We'll do some things like that later on. For the moment, I'm going to basically just create this, and I'm kind of creating the housing for being able to do a bunch of different pieces here. The first one I'm going to do is, okay, for now just come in anonymous. Don't worry about that at the moment. I'll be working on that section and make sure that it refines it and works real clear and everything. But I'll have to run through that again and double check it. Yeah. Okay, so this particular one, avatar, yeah. Yep, sure can. Okay, so this one I'm just going to call avatar visible. Avatar show visible. Make sure I have enough syllables that it's not another word that I'm already using. Okay, and this one we're going to put here. I'm just setting up some framework to be able to do different transitions. And so this particular one, we have avatar show visible. That's where I'm going to tell it what to do. In this particular case, let's see, we should be passing, we're passing what number we want to do for the transition, but I didn't pass the actual avatar with it. So let's pass the avatar and the transition so I know which one I'm working with. That should get us, okay, by avatar name, we're going to have to do a few pieces here. Let's see, should I do it? I could do it once up here. Let's make it work once, and then I'll see about putting it up here and seeing if we want to pass it to this piece, or if we're going to do it. It's probably going to be where this happens once, and then the transition has to happen on all the parts. So I may pass a different piece down to here and move a piece up to there later on, but let's pass the avatar name. And once we have the avatar name, what we need to do is the string is it lagging? This scene is pretty shallow, but it runs kind of quick. It could be you because mine's actually moving around pretty quick. Yeah. Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's set in my settings. Oh, okay. I probably did your 302 account. Okay, okay. I'll catch that for you. No problem. Let's see. I'll do that after I'm done today. Okay, let's. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so what we're actually doing on here. Thank you, and I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate you for following and everything. And I'm on most days, and what I'm working on right now is we're actually going through some stuff for some multiplayer. We're going to smooth out some of their controls. We're going to play around with it. We're going to do some transitions of how you enter the scene so that you have a little bit of fun with that kind of stuff. Awesome. So we'll keep on going with that, and we're playing around with this right now so that we can see multiple people. If you want to join us in this scene, all you have to do is click that link for the building that we're in, which is this building, and of course we're doing the rest of the stuff. So we'll keep on going. We're going to make this work. We're going to get this user stuff going, speed it up, and play around with it a little bit. Check out the different transitions, see what we can do. So at the moment, what I have is this. When we create a new avatar, which happens in basic avatars, when I go into this section and it creates the avatar, one of the things that happens is the default avatar here, the various parts, each one of these let me think about this, how I want to do it. The parts are the scene loader. Here it goes. This is what I wanted. These pieces were coloring based on what they set, and these are what's showing. So I need to be able to grab these parts, which are listed as avatar parts. Oh, that's only the ones we're coloring. That's not everything. Okay, so even if that's blank, we should be getting these meshes right here. Each mesh, we have an ID. We made them pickable so that we could grab them. And we've also made sure that they have a parent, I believe. The parent is always set here with each mesh. Oh yeah, what's happening? Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. Okay, yeah, when you pick one, all that stuff comes in, and you can pick your colors and things, and yeah. Okay, you can do colors, and you can do animations, which is the link below it. It should show up there for your avatar. Yeah, yeah. It's on the menu that pops up in the bottom right. Okay, so let's see here. What's happening is I have these different meshes that are coming in. And by default, I set them visible. Now, I can set them, instead of setting them to is visible, which is is passed in here. I can set them all to false. Oh, yep, I see you in the scene. Yes, I do. So, there you are. You're in there now. Okay, and it didn't save the colors, which I'm working on, so we'll get back to that in a minute. But it should in the future. And for now, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set is visible to false for the moment, which is going to erase everybody that's under... Well, actually, before I do that step, I don't want to do that just yet. That's where I'm going to set it to false. And then once they're loaded, I want to be able to... See, this is... The mesh is this. And the mesh gets... If the parent's blank, it goes to there. Um, I'm not sure why yet. We're okay. You may just have to refresh your screen. I may have saved that code and then made it disappear. So no problem. But just refresh your screen and it should come back in. Okay, so let's see what we have here. I want to read from here. Let me see if, first of all, var avatar equals scene dot get mesh by ID and then username. This should get the parent of it, and if avatar's not equal null, you can idle for quite a while. I don't remember what I set it for, but I think it's like 15 minutes or something before it does anything. But even then, I still haven't adjusted it. I want to make it part of the admin where you can actually set it if you're hosting a site, so that you could tell it how long to be. So that would be the best bet. I want to put as much controls in your hands so that when you run your own site, you can say, oh, I want to, not disappear so quick, or if people aren't really there, I want them to be gone. You can set those settings. But we're going to set it up where you can do that at the end. But for now, I just need to see that I am getting what I think I'm getting here and I'm going to start checking to see if this is giving me what I think I'm getting. So avatar dot name, and basic avatar's avatar dot name should be set. It should be set right there. Okay, so we should be able to get the meshes that are part of that as a child in a second. But first I want to see that I'm actually getting that piece. I'm kind of walking down this list of things to do here, making sure it gets me all the various parts. So found my avatar. That's the name of my avatar. That's good. Now if I check the child pieces underneath it. Okay, so that, I'm going to leave that right where it's at for a minute. And I'm working in this file. Okay. Var avatar parts equal, and that should be additional K. That's my wife Karen. Yeah. Okay, get no. Okay, get children. For each. Let's see, if I want to do for each with this, I need to do for var I equals 0 colon or semicolon I less than avatar parts dot length and I plus plus. Okay, so we're getting a loop going here. I just want to see if I'm getting the various parts, and for each part underneath here, if avatar parts I is equal. Oh, it's pretty nice. Some days it gets too hot, but that's not something to complain about too much. No. And yeah, what's the temperature? Oh, I don't even know what that means unless it's in Fahrenheit. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. That's cold. Yeah. And name. Okay, let me see if I'm getting these parts. underneath that. I'm just tracking down, walking through the avatar, getting the various parts, and I need to get to the pieces of the avatar that make it up, which are going to be scale, camera, and center. So scale is the one that it needs to find. So what I'm going to do is under that, avatar scale equals scene get mesh by name plus hyphen, I think that's how I wrote it, yes, hyphen scale, all lowercase, and that should get the avatar scale. We'll check and see here. And that'll go to there. And oops, that goes there. This will be avatar scale. This particular one is there, and we want the children of that. Now we want to name the parts. Let's see if that gets us there. And okay, that grabbed the various parts. I think I'm in good shape now. That gets the list of parts that I want to do the items to. And let's see if I... Okay, so now... Oh, no worries, no worries. Okay. Okay. Okay, so what I'm testing right now is I want to find out if I go from here, let me move these two files next to each other so I don't lose track of where they are. This particular one, when it first comes in, I'm going to set the is visible to false, and then when I cycle through and it's already built, I'm going to pop into place by setting this right here, dot is visible equals true. Now that will make it, that should give us an effect of the person not being there until they're fully there with their animations. So right now we're not there, which is a good sign, and boom, I'm in there and I'm working. So we've hidden the POW into the scene. Okay, so now that we have that piece in place, we get a little bit more fun because that was pretty much show it. Just boom, it's in the scene and now it's here. When I refresh, let's do it one more time just so everybody can see what it is. Yeah. I'm using OBS from Streamlabs OBS. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've been using OBS, you know, I like it. It's been working well, so I kind of stick with it. Okay, that gives us a transition of being in this scene. Notice if I come in here, when I show up into the scene, this one is just basically make it visible when you can see me, and notice it just pops into the scene. Same for the other people. Now they load up, and there they are. We have two other people in the scene. Okay. Yeah, sure can. I don't have anything set up for flying yet. If you want to look around the scene without your avatar, if you're in admin mode, then you can always click on avatar camera off, and then it actually separates so you can build things and stuff without having your avatar attached to the camera. But when you're in regular mode, I don't have it like a fly mode yet. I haven't put it over there. Okay, what I'm working on right now is I'm working on different transactions for this particular stuff. What I want to do is I'm going to move some of this over to here because each one of these scenes are going to need this same code. So I don't see the reason for I'm going to set avatar parts here. Oops, I didn't mean to do cap. Avatar parts. I'll instance it here and equals that. And then what I'll do is avatar parts come in here, and then I will take this piece and move that to our function. That way we don't have to repeat every one of those steps for each one of the transitions we want to do. This will be avatar parts being passed into here. So we send the list of all the parts that need to be updated. This particular one just bounces them to 0 so that they show up that way. This will set it here. Well, we'll have to, I don't know. We'll have to figure out something, but I don't want to do it while I'm streaming here with this stuff just yet. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know how to set that up otherwise. I don't know. We'll have to think about that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm sending over avatar parts this way, and it's being brought in from here. That will make sure that it gets there, and now to see that I didn't break anything, we'll figure that out first. Because what I want to do is, in this case, I'm going to give it a couple different types of functions instead of just appearing when they're available. There they are. Ah, nice colors. Cool. Cool, you set the colors. Nice. You set your colors on your avatar. Good job. Good deal. Yeah. Okay, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to create one instead of show visible. Show, I'm going to call this fade. You can pick a different avatar if you create a login. I think what you may have run into is the login names have to only be letters, numbers. So if you create your login and then log in, then it'll let you pick an avatar from more choices. So, okay, did you create a login though? Did it create? Okay, okay, then go down to, click on your profile button. Here, I'll show you on my screen. If you click on profile down here, then there's one that says edit my avatar. And on the very bottom is change my avatar. If you click that, then you get a choice of 10 different avatars. You just got to wait till they all load. Change. When you click this, you get change password, but you don't get edit my avatar. Refresh your page. Something didn't load right. I'm sorry. We'll have to figure that out. Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah. Then you should be able to change the avatar. And okay, what I'm going to do is over here. Okay, for this I'm going to do two things in fade. To make them fade in and out, the first thing I'm going to do is cycle through then, and I need to set an opacity of each one of these, which I can set opacity. It's under the materials, I believe. Alpha equals 1. So I need to go for each one of those if the material is not null. Refresh the page. That's a bug. That's something I have to work on. Whenever you see something weird, I refresh the page for now. We'll get to those things. I'm just trying to fix a couple little parts here along the way, and then we'll get to the other ones. Yeah, there's a lot of pieces to work on, but I'm getting there. I think when other people start jumping in on the code and saying, "Hey, change it to this and it works" or whatever, then we'll start getting more people. We'll make faster updates to it. But until then, you're seeing what I'm working on. Yeah. So if this part here, I want to see if material. If this dot material, I want to make sure it's not materials. Yeah, material is not equal null. Then material dot material alpha equals 0. Then I'm going to do same thing, and this time for window set timeout. Let's see. Let's call this var blah 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 blah. Avatar parts dot name. Timer. Okay, set timeout, and this is going to be comma okay. Okay, no worries. I'll be here. I'll be around. Okay. Take care. Hope you feel better. Okay, for this part, I'm going to tell that. And we are going to do a little if. This is less than 1, then do this. Avatar plus equal .01. Blah, blah, blah. That's going to happen pretty quick, but we'll see what happens. We'll play around with these numbers if they're awkward. And then else, we're going to set, if it's less than 1, it should actually be 1 when we're done, but we're going to double check that and say alpha equals 1. And we're going to say window clear timeout. And we're going to call that by name, which is alpha name parts I plus hyphen timer. That should catch the piece. We'll see if that actually does what it's supposed to, but we're going to give it a shot and see if this doesn't tell us to fade in. Let's try it on my character only. F5. Oh, caught. We missed something. Let's see. We have that. We have that. We have parentheses. We have parentheses there. I missed something, so I'm just looking for this is part of that. This is part of that. There. There. Okay, I didn't miss a... Okay, looks like, oh, this one is that one. Okay. Then we didn't have any other there. Oh, what is it saying? Unexpected token, square bracket, line 1257 on the loader page. Loader page, 1257. Why would that? Oh, you can't var. Oh, that's what I need. X. Var. Timer name equals this. Now we gave it a name, and we can say timer name equals. Oh, wait a minute. That's just going to set it to something else. Blah, 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 blah. We can't set a. Oh, there wasn't need for var. That's why. I can set this. No, that's not setting a variable. Timer name equals that. Okay, let's just do this. Var timer name equals that, and we don't need it to be related to this. Timer name here, since it's a local variable, then we just set it there and send it inside of our event and see if that treats it better. Well, I don't know what I was thinking when I typed that, but who does? Okay, so now our guy comes in. Nope. Material of undefined. That would be this. Material of undefined. This piece here is the parts, are the parts. Because these parts are all right here. There's ID and there's name. So each one of these should have mesh name. It should be this. Child mold name, which is that, should be the ID and the name of each mesh that comes in here. We're setting them to invisible, and then let me see if it's not undefined. Okay. This should be all the child objects, and we were able to set them visible there. But for some reason, it doesn't like, if that's not null, yeah, we'll troubleshoot this. We're going to figure out what's going on here right now. ID equals avatar parts. ID. And then set of materials not null. If, well, that's not null, but that's saying undefined. This is where, okay, let me block this part of the code for the moment. I don't want to do two steps here when I haven't made it past the first step. Okay, I was able to make it darken and come in invisible. Then here, okay, so it is going invisible here without any problem. What did I mess up on? Avatar parts, length, okay, we're going through this. For each avatar part, not null. And then for each part material, not null. Timer name. Oh, so this is not finding, it's not finding this when it tries to change it within a timer. Okay. Var. Okay, since it's getting that far, let's var. Child mold equals. Enter this. Copy this. This .id. Then we will go into this timer and we're gonna do this. We'll say var, actually this is child mold name or ID, var child mold equals scene get mesh ID, and it will be this child mold ID that we're going to get if child mold is not equal null, which means we found it. Then I want to do this process, and we're going to check child mold material. Okay, let's try that, where child mold ID, and we can pass it into the function. We do it that way, and see if that gives us what we're expecting. Okay. Is it taking a long time because I set a very low value? Or is it doing it? Okay, let's find out. Here we want, you know what, I'm going to do less of an increase at a time, and I'm going to run this a slower speed. So once a second it should, let's go half a second. Once half a second it should go at 10%. That's too long. Actually, that is pretty slow. Well, let's see. Let's see what it actually does first. Let's find out what's happening here. ID equals, oh, and I already had this above, but let's find out child mold ID does right here. Actually, we should be able to take that out. Let's go child mold ID here, and let's go, if it hits this, then alpha equals this value. Now let's see what that does. We should be getting somewhere on this. Alpha 79999. Alpha 7, and then almost to 8, and it stopped there. That's interesting, but that's different parts. Hats. The hat should have shown up. Let's see, shoes, body hair. Alpha 1 was a hat. It's trying to rotate the hat up here, but it's dropping everything else. And then it only gets this much, and it quits. So I should have some ghost of an image of something on here, but... Oh, I know why. Well, that wasn't smart. I left this also. We need to also set visible equals true after we set alpha equals 0. That'd make more sense, because otherwise it doesn't show because it's not in the scene. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Well, that was fast. Showed up very quick, but it's only the hat. That's kind of funny. Okay, well, you know something, I'm going to keep on playing around with this, and I'm going to go ahead and call it a day on the stream, but I will find you again tomorrow, and I should have some really cool stuff to show off to you when I see you again. So, have a great day, and thank you for checking in on me, and yeah, this is some cool stuff, so we're going to have some fun with this, but I want to thank you all for coming in and joining me. We'll talk to you again soon.